ahead and call the City of St. Francis Council meeting for June 8th, 2026 to order. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from the May 11th council meeting? Any additions or corrections? I hear a motion to approve. Moved by Justin, second by Randy. All in favor? We need a motion to read and approve the minutes of the May 26th meeting when we didn't have quorum. I guess Justin, you're probably gonna have to do that.
It just says that there was no quorum.
Moved by Justin, second by Randy, all in favor. Consent agenda. Jen, you got something to say here?
Yeah, you'll notice that the consent agenda is quite a bit smaller, so for years we would, have you guys motion to approve to pay separate bills, ones that were due at odd times of the month. But it seems as though sometimes we get stuff later and later in the month for bills, and so it's becoming where some of the bills now are, I got them right after the last council meeting, so then I wait till this council meeting to pay them. So I talked to the auditors, and asked if I could, because I'm already paying some bills, what we call out of cycle because of the permission on the consent agenda. So rather than just narrowing those to a few bills, they're good with me doing batches of bills as needed because we always have, the mayor with a live signature, if she's gone, she gets an email with a copy of the check register to be able to use her stamp. And then I find another council person to sign them, and then I have to sign them. So there's two other people seeing those bills that are being paid throughout the month besides me. So, talked to Amanda about it, she was good with it, so moving forward, that's what the consent agenda will read, and I think things will go much smoother on getting things paid.
Okay. Need a motion to give permission for the clerk to pay upcoming bills when due.
So moved.
Moved by David, second by Justin, all in favor? Sheriff's report, there's a printout in your paperwork. Everybody have a chance to review it? Any questions? Anything we need to address? Okay. Good. New business, we need to get hold of Adams Brown to run through the audit presentation. Everybody hear that?
This is Kim.
Hi, Kim, this is Larry with City of St. Francis. We got the rest of the
Hi, how are you?
council here, we're good. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I think
Okay,
we're ready for you to go ahead.
Okay, I was wondering if you were gonna call. It looks like you guys are getting a pretty good storm.
Hopefully it split one around us.
I hope so too. Well, I'll make this pretty quick so you guys can get on with your meeting. But let me introduce myself. I'm Kim Foley. I'm with Adams Brown, and I've been working with Jen and Jamie on the audit for the past few weeks. And I'm hoping you all have a copy of the report in front of you.
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with page 1. This is our independent auditor's report. And as in prior years, we are issuing 2 separate opinions on the city's financial statements. The first is an adverse opinion in accordance with U.S. generally accepted accounting principles. An adverse opinion basically means we're not issuing any sort of opinion because the city is not following GAAP. Annually, you, as a council, do pass a resolution to waive following GAAP, and in place of that, decide to follow the regulatory basis of accounting. In looking at that basis of accounting, we are issuing an unmodified opinion, and that is what I would call a clean opinion. And we are saying that these financial statements are fairly stated and they're free of any material errors or misstatements. Okay, and then I'll move on to page 3 of the report. For the regulatory basis, there is one statement that is required to be presented, and it is on page 4. I'm sorry, I think I said page 3. But this statement is a nice summary of each of the city's funds. And we start with beginning unencumbered cash. We add in any receipts, subtract expenditures to come to an ending unencumbered cash basis. And then we'll add back any accounts payable and encumbrances to the actual ending cash balance the city had on hand at year end, which was about $4.8 million. In looking at unencumbered cash, the change from 2024 to 2025, we did see an increase of about $640,000. Mainly that increase came from increases in the capital improvement fund, infrastructure improvement fund, and the utility fund. And mainly that was just due to being able to transfer funds in and out of those funds, or monies in and out of those funds. So overall, end of the year with $4.6 million in unencumbered cash.
Okay,
The next page starts the notes to the financial statements. These are going to look very similar to what you're used to seeing in prior years. We had no significant changes in any of our accounting or auditing standards. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of them. If you want to look at page 7 and the top of page 8, discusses deposits and investments. The city does report on the regulatory basis, which is basically cash basis plus accounts payable. So we do want to make sure that the city is reconciling all of their bank accounts and that it's being done timely and accurately, that all of the cash is legally secured at year end, and we had no issues in looking at any of the cash accounts. Note 4 is interfund transfers. We look to make sure that the city has regulatory authority to transfer between funds and that those transfers do balance to zero. Next several pages gives a lot of information about employee benefits such as capers, vacation and sick leave. No big changes there. So I'm going to skip all the way to the end of the footnotes, which is page 13. And this is a summary of the city's debt. We have the different types of debt listed at the top, and then show their beginning balance. There were no additions during the year, and then the payments and the end of year balance. And then at the bottom half of the page is the future maturities of those debt obligations over the next 5 years and then in 5-year increments. One item that is not included in these financial statements is a statute violation. We do look at numerous statutes related to municipalities in general and cities specifically, and we had no issues in any of the testing we did. The rest of the report is required supplemental information. Page 14 is a budget to actual schedule. We do get copies of the city's budget and make sure that expenditures do not exceed budget in any of those funds, and there were no issues to note. And then the remainder of the report is detail of each of the individual funds, showing the different types of revenues and expenditures, and then comparing them to actual prior year actual and the budget. And I will go over all of those. Any questions over those for financial statements?
I don't think so.
Okay. You should also have a letter in front of you as well. This is titled our governance letter. And this is just a summary going over the audit process. We would discuss any new accounting standards, if we had any difficulties performing the audit, any disagreements with management, or any other issues, and there were none to report. You will note at the top of page 3, we do have one recommendation, and we have recommended this the last several years, and I know it has not been implemented yet, just due to significant turnover you've had in the clerk's position. But we would like to see a formal accounts receivable policy be developed, just to determine how you're gonna handle unpaid utility bills, like if you're going, when you're going to write them off, when you're going to send them to collections and that sort of thing. But nothing major, just a good practice to have in place. Okay. And then on the last page of the letter, we do have one area that we consider to be a material weakness for the city, and that is lack of segregation of duties. The city is very small. You cannot adequately segregate all duties due to the small staff size. However, the city does do a great job where they can divvy up those duties, and it's also a good reminder for you as a council to keep an eye on the financial statements and make sure you're asking questions and, you know, asking for supporting documentation as you feel necessary. Again, that's something that you as a council should be used to seeing. I don't think that will change. But that was our audit overall. I know that was quick. Any questions or concerns?
I don't have any. Anybody else?
No.
I think we're good, Kim.
All right, well, I appreciate you giving me a call this evening, and if you have anything or think of something later on, you can always give me a call at any time or shoot me an email. I know Jen and Jamie will have my contact information. So.
We appreciate your time and effort.
All right, we'll get started on the budget process next, I guess.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Take care. Is that all I need the phone for? Anything else we need to do as far as the audit goes?
That's it for the audit as far as I know. The next will be the letter to sign for the budget.
Just a point of clarification on the debt, it still listed the pool. My understanding is that paid off now?
Okay.
Not yet.
October.
We're not sure of a date, they're,
Yeah.
Tom-
he's meeting tomorrow,
Yeah, I know, yeah, okay.
so, right, all the decisions.
Yeah.
I was just going by our last meeting, I thought, okay.
I think from my understanding, what I discussed with Lila and with Carla the other day is that is what you guys will
Okay.
figure out tomorrow, basically, or schedule the meeting to figure out.
Okay,
It's close.
yeah, I knew it was right there, so.
Is Chris here? There she is. Hi, Chris.
Okay, Claire,
I'm sorry?
do you remember, do you normally make a motion to,
Accept the audit?
one, accept the 2025 audit, and then another motion to approve the, budget engagement letter for the 2027 budget? So two separate motions.
I made a motion to approve the audit.
Moved by David, second by Randy to accept the 2025 audit from Adams Brown. All in favor?
The budget letter.
What's that?
I said I moved the budget letter to be accepted.
Second.
It's been moved by Justin and seconded by Randy to accept the budget presentation letter proposal. All in favor? Pass. Chris, you're up. Well, you went to town.
I'm here to do our annual report for Cheyenne Community Development. So, just kind of a little bit of information about us, and kind of some numbers, so I'm gonna start kind of a little bit, but wanna let you know that we have been involved with opening 9 new businesses for the last year. And 7 businesses have changed ownership. We have been involved with assisting with loans for 11 different businesses in Cheyenne County. And we helped secure $890,000 in business loans. We do a lot of grant writing, and most recently we've done $268,795 in grants. And we are currently in the process of getting ready to start working on a $1.2 million grant for the park. We give out welcome packets to our new residents. We did a little over 30 of those. Some economic impacts for you guys. So tourism right now is doing a $2.4 million economic impact for us. We had 2 large events this year that we participated with. Bike Across Kansas had a little over 500 people that were brought into town, as well as the 72nd annual Thresher Show had a little over 8,000 people come for that. And in state and local revenue generated just through tourism for Cheyenne County was $204,700. So that's some good numbers. So why does economic development matter? Economic development creates opportunities that benefit every resident. When businesses grow, jobs are created. When tourism increases, tax revenues increase. When housing becomes available, employers can attract workers. And when grants are secure, local tax dollars go further. So CCDC is the lead organization for business development, entrepreneurship support, housing incentives, workforce recruitment, tourism promotion, community development, and grant development. Next, this basically just shows you who the actual businesses were that opened. And we are currently working with 8 different individuals that are looking at possibly opening businesses here in Cheyenne County. I'm busy right now. So. We've been working on housing development over the last 2 years. As you guys know, we're the receiver of the Rural Championship grant. And currently, they've purchased a piece of property. They're going to be removing a house and building a new one that should break ground within the next 90 days. And we're also in the process of purchasing another piece of property that will be a house we built specifically to be rented, because we have a definite need for rental properties. So,
Both for rental?
the first one will be actually sold, and the second one will be for rental. So, some tourism impact numbers for the state. And numbers are a year behind, unfortunately, but in 2024, there was an $8.2 billion visitor spending in tourism. It's huge. Because of that, it created 91,562 jobs, and it generated $843 million in state and local taxes. But for us here in Cheyenne County, we're closer in our numbers. We've created $2.4 million in visitor spending, $204,700 in tax revenue. We had a 3.8% growth rate, which is the second highest in Northwest Kansas. And because of the taxes, it literally saves every household $156.70 per year in taxes. So let's bring those tax dollars down a little bit. We do a lot of grant writing, and I've got the last 3 years worth of grant amounts, but grand total in the last 3 years, we've done $415,072 in grants. We are currently working on some projects, we're just about done with Triangle Park, Smoke Ring Barbecue Competition, the Cheyenne County Amusement Authority, and then the St. Francis Park Renovation Project are the big ones we're working on currently. We do workforce and community development, and we work with different programs throughout the state. Big ones right now are Love Kansas and then Make My Move, which is a recruitment option where we can actually offer a $20,000 bonus if somebody was to move to Cheyenne County and work here in the county. So something good for the hospital mostly. So we have partnerships with a lot of different organizations throughout the state, but we do work closely with them. Some of our current statewide boards that we work with is the State Tourism Board. Currently I am the Northwest Kansas State Representative, so I get to actually go be in front of the State Director of Tourism quarterly. And last week I actually got to represent Northwest Kansas for the FIFA Cup. We got to meet with all 4 of the teams that are being based here in Kansas. So got to meet with the teams, their families, all their entourage, and we got to tell them all about all the reasons why when they're bored while they're waiting between games, they can come here to Northwest Kansas. So they're actually kind of excited. So we'll see if that brings us in some people. We represent also at different regional level organizations, but Northwest Kansas Travel Council, Pioneer County Development, the U.S. Highway 36 Association, Western Kansas Rural Economic Development Alliance, and then the Northwest Kansas Museum Coalition. And locally, I am on the boards for the Cheyenne County Historical Society, First City Historical Association, and Tri-State Antique Engine and Thresher Association.
You're not busy at all.
Not at all, yeah. I don't even know what day it is actually, so don't ask too many questions.
Do you do much anymore with Pioneer County Development?
So they actually got a new director, and it has gone from being not great to being really wonderful. Some really new things are coming together for them.
That's good news.
It is good, because it was not looking so good for a while. So,
Yeah.
she's been in, actually it's her 11th month, but they just, we're finally gonna start being tap into some business loans and stuff again, which was a big thing that they used to be able to offer that have been gone for a while. So, Cheyenne County was featured on KWCH 12 News on an episode called On the Road into the Stars on March 19th of 2026. So they featured the Rickery Breaks and the Motorcycle Museum. So that was a nice little plug for us. Also in 2025, the Kansas Department of Commerce does an awards event, but it's called they call it To the Stars. We did have a regional winner this year in the Main Street Momentum, and that was Lacey Grogan. So Kansas Department of Commerce came out and presented her with an award. So looking forward to 2027, top priorities right now: economic development, housing development, business recruiting and support, workforce attraction, tourism promotion, downtown revitalization and development, and business grant grant, receiving grants and sourcing grants as well. So last page on there is our budget request for 2027. So, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Looks good.
You know what the budget was? Oh, right there it is, right there. I missed it. From
I got
last
last
year.
year's on there, so yeah.
Anybody have questions?
Next thing in there, in your packet is a new version of the brochure. I had presented it, I think it'd be a month ago now. And there was some changes requested, so I did make it a little more similar to what we had from before. I did add in a map similar to the one that it had, and then totally redesigned the inside. So I'm kind of seeing if this is kind of the route you guys wanted to go or not, but more pictures, a little more information.
This looks
And
a
if
lot
it's professionally
what
printed,
we
we
wanted
could pull
from
that.
the last time, doesn't it?
Yeah, the pictures aren't too small this time. It catches your eye a lot better, in my opinion.
Well, and I still think the picture of the Mercury breaks is what catches everybody's eye.
Absolutely.
You know, it needs to be that picture, you know. And then the other piece in there, if we do decide we wanna go with it, I did get some printing prices for us as well, so if we do want to move forward. So, that is in there.
Everybody okay with that? Get prices, see where we're at?
Too bad you don't know anyone who does printing.
I don't want to make this print.
Not at all?
No. And then I did have one other thing, so the playground renovation project, they would like to apply for a Kansas Land and Water Conservation Grant. It'll be for about $310,000. Most of the grants we're able to apply for, easily. This one, because of the way it is done, it will require that it be applied for through the city. So we do need to have permission to be able to apply for the grant in your name. So normally how we do that is we basically write the grant, then you guys review it before it's submitted. So
Kansas Land, Water and Conservation.
Land, Water and Conservation Fund, yes.
And how much was it?
We're thinking it's gonna be for about $310,000, so this one requires a match, and unlike a lot of the other grants, normally we can use other grants to make the match. This one, we must have the funds secured before we submit the grant, so we're not positive.
Timeline again?
Huh?
What's the timeline on that?
We have until July 31st, so. This one is due.
And the match is, in the funds they've raised.
It will be in the funds they raise, yes.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, so we're applying for a Hanson grant for $250,000 plus the funds they already have, so we're coming up with that. And then there's also, and I know there's been discussion about doing the community development block grant. We were originally talking about doing the large facility so that way you could do both the bathrooms as well. And I know we decided not to just because of the engineering part of it. But they do have a small facilities grant, which is $210,000. They would be interested in applying for that. It does not require the engineering reports, but unfortunately, we would not be able to do the bathrooms. So that's the other thing they would like to know if they can move forward with.
And that would be for what purpose?
So, it's specifically for the playground equipment at the park, so,
For the equipment.
yeah, for the equipment.
Is that something where, if they decided to go that route, that the bathroom could be addressed at a later point?
It could be, yes,
Okay.
so it'd just be a different grant,
No.
so.
Any objections to letting the park committee go ahead and let her do her work?
All those gotta be matched.
And if we don't make the match, then we don't get the money.
I think you should probably make a motion,
Yeah, 'cause we
it should
will,
just be a consensus that they can go ahead and apply for the grants.
yeah, 'cause we will need a copy of the minutes.
Bud, you okay
that it
with
was
that?
approved.
To apply for the grants?
Do you know, is it a requirement that it's a motion of the city council motion to approve for them to apply for the grant? Is that a requirement or just a consensus? We wanna make sure we
Can I
do it
answer
right.
that in just a minute? When I have the whole
Yes.
application from you,
Yeah,
but I
that
don't
would be
remember the
great.
answer to.
I just wanna make sure we
Yeah,
do
Sure.
it right. I don't think it would, they could probably go ahead and do a motion, to go ahead and apply for it contingent that the match funding is out of the
Actually,
park,
so because this
whatever
is,
park committee's
yes,
funds raised, I think.
yeah, because we have to show proof of funds, so we would show proof of.
That would be
Yes.
appropriate way to do it.
Since it's actually applied for through the city, we don't need the actual, we would just need basically the signatures saying that we, what on the actual application at the end, so I guess.
so we just need a consensus.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think that would be the best thing to do.
Good with David?
Yeah,
Randy?
I'm good with that.
Justin? I'm good.
Okay.
Yep, appreciate what you're
Okay,
doing.
no problem. Any other questions I guess before?
Could you send
Yes.
a copy of it?
But I just give it to you.
Perfect.
When do you think you'll have, is this page here you got for printing costs, is that for this particular brochure?
Yeah, it's for the new one.
Okay,
So we can obviously still change it, but this piece for the 8.5 by 14, so, because originally we were looking at doing it as an 8.5 by 11, so that's what.
okay. special events permit for concert in the park. I should say we, my wife and I are asking to waive the fee for the band shell rental and to approve the concert in the park application.
We need two separate motions.
Two separate motions.
One, to approve the band shell rental with the fee being waived, and then the second motion will be for the special event.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the bench show fee be waived.
Moved by David to approve the band shell fee waiver. Second by Randy. All in favor? Okay. And then we need a motion to approve the special events application for concert in the park. It's on September 12th. Moved by Justin, second by David. All in favor? Pass. Anything else on that? Transient merchant application for Oasis Ridge Farms, Paul Lick. Looks like they're wanting to use a mobile trailer. They have paid the annual license fee for out of non-residents of Cheyenne County.
Move to approve.
Moved by Justin to approve, second by Bud. All in favor? Motion passed. Building permits. Dan, I'm gonna have to defer a little bit to you on these. Cause I know with the way your schedule's been, I assume you've looked at them all, but
Try to. If we go along with it. So the one for 102's first, William Pets. There's a deck up by his house, and we went ahead and approved it since we didn't have a meeting last time, cause he wanted to get started. There's no issues with it.
okay.
Chicken coop on College Street, that was applied for chicken permit, and then he built a big group, so we're having to get a building permit. It's one I had a picture of last
Right.
meeting. So Robert Martinez, for Caddyshack, they just put wood posts in, and they're doing a rope for, what they call it?
Extended an outdoor patio.
A barrier basically for their, where they can have alcohol, that, there, and then they're gonna close in the patio eventually.
Okay.
And Outdoors, wants to do a greenhouse, I didn't see any issues with that.
Are you supplying the public with anything?
Not that greenhouse. Okay.
We're not bothered.
Chris, I'm just curious, I'm just asking, is the 417 East Jackson the property you're talking about?
Yes. It should be under, Travis Howard's.
Right, okay, just wanted clarification.
And I talked to him today, we're gonna tear it all out basically, the sewer's gonna come in and tear it all out. All the concrete, all the old swimming pool, all of it.
Okay,
That's our raising permit, that's the building. The other one I had, I may need to talk to like Taylor and Olivia Rogers, they've already built the fence, I know they applied before the last meeting. And this is why I was gonna talk to you guys tonight about, I think we need to set this up to where when we do building permits, we need to let them know they're gonna have to come in the next day and make sure it's approved. Cause I didn't have a chance to call them,
sure.
their fence is up. The only discrepancy here is they've got Travis Jensen down as a contractor, and last I knew he did not have insurance.
That's what I was gonna ask. Okay,
So I need to talk to them and see if they actually used him, they did themselves or what. But if they, I think if they truly had him do it, I think we need to have Travis get insurance before you can really approve it.
so do we,
It's already up,
we just table that one?
probably better.
on any of the others?
No, the rest of them are, was that all of them? Oh, yeah, we got Dennis's.
Dennis's,
And I didn't see any problem with his, once we sit down and figure some stuff out, there is a. I don't know how you, what do you call this thing? Basically an awareness of, that we do not say that we know where the property lines are up there, all that kind of stuff. On the back of this permit, just due to the discrepancies and stuff. I think what we've seen, we're good, but where he wants to go with it.
Yeah, the picture of that does not do anything because
No,
it shows that building in behind Potter's building.
right, and we,
And if somebody would come out and look, it's 5 foot west of
Right.
Potter's building.
okay,
yeah, and I did talk to Amanda about that, she said something to do with the way they take the pictures and they flatten them out, and that's what happened there, so.
Yeah.
And then Derek Barnhart put one in today for a retaining wall. I didn't get to talk to him, I didn't have time, but I see he already had Betty's signature to put a retaining wall in, cause apparently they tore the one down that was there, and now his yard's wanting to wash off to that side.
so he's just replacing it.
So, well, I think it was on her property maybe, we're not sure, but anyway, it got tore out and now it needs to be put back, so.
I can actually say about that, cause I tore it down, so it was Betty's, DJ said that it was Betty's,
Wall.
wall, and Betty wanted all the trees removed. And so in order for me to remove all them trees while tearing down the house, that wall had to come out. But I left the original, first 6 feet up front so that they'd have a marker, and then back by the garage, I didn't tear that down. But that was Betty's wall originally.
And I think he's looking for like railroad ties or something to put in there, that's what he's looking for.
Any of these need to be standalone?
Need to be what?
Standalone as far as approving the permits?
Raising permit probably, since it's not really a building permit.
So we need approval to approve the grazing permit at 417 East Jackson. Moved by David, second by Justin, all in favor? Pass. And then we need approval to, a motion to approve the remainder of the building permits. Moved by Justin, second by Randy, all in favor? Pass.
We wanna table this one till next month,
We're gonna table the Taylor Rogers till we check on the Travis Jimson, insurance. Tree trim license for SMH Tree Service, Matthew Hanslick. Looks like he's got everything on the application. Need a motion to approve the tree license.
Move to approve.
Moved by Justin, second by Bud, all in favor? Pass. We have, 2 fireworks license applications, another one came in here late. Milne's Mayhem and Cynthia Pulling. Have both paid their fees. Do we have a sales tax ID on Milne's?
No, they don't have it on there. Yeah.
Should have it. Yeah, okay. Any, before I say anything, is there, you good with letting fireworks go? You talk to Ryan Murray anymore, or you think with the rain we've had, we're okay?
I think we had enough moisture right now.
with it being 250th, I don't know how we say no.
That's a good point. So I need a motion to approve the fireworks license applications. Moved by Justin, second by Randy, all in favor? Pass. Old business, property cleanup. Anything new on any of these cases, Lauren?
703 South Francis was sold. The closing occurred last Friday. In other news on that property, we paid the whatever county it was in Oklahoma $50 for service, and they never served her. They tried one time 2 days before the court date, but they cashed the check as soon as they got it. So my understanding was Amanda was going to call them and request the return of our $50.
June had a conversation with John Gray.
Oh, yes, he will be coming to the 22nd meeting. He couldn't be here today because they're having the meeting in Bird City. But he did say that he also plans to have the conditions abated by the 45-day deadline. He says he was served on 6/4, and he should have workers, he said, starting work shortly to improve the conditions.
Who is this?
This is 600 South Adams. Do you need it this way?
No, I'm just... He was served on 6/4.
That's what he said, yeah.
Do we have a return of service?
Do we have it yet? I haven't seen it yet, did
We'll
I?
have to check it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it yet, but he called.
You say he'll be at the next meeting?
Yes, he's planning to be at the next meeting.
We need returns of service when these are served, so we have proof of when they're served. Because we need to know when the tolling starts. And also, I would like an explanation as to why this was given to the sheriff's office on the 12th of May and served on the 4th of June. Which is obviously not something for you to answer, but just in general.
Do we know the scope of work that needs to be done at 412 West Webster? What's going on there?
That one's been abated.
Hmm?
That one's been abated. This is just a running spreadsheet, so 412 West Webster, it's
It's been taken care of.
been taken care of.
Okay. Dan, you have anything else?
Wyatt got hold of me tonight, or late afternoon, about Sheila Harris's place on the backyard, and I'm gonna be honest, I made a quick trip by there, and it didn't look like anything from what I can see, but I didn't jump out and look over the fence or anything.
You mean as far as if anything's changed?
Right, on the, yeah,
Nothing's changed.
for the fire code violation.
Nothing's changed.
And that was today, was the date on that one, I believe.
So what's our next step then?
If today was the deadline, then have her issued a citation, and preferably served in less than 3 weeks from the time it's issued.
Do you want us to just send an email in the morning to request that citation be issued on the fire code?
Yeah. You think?
Yeah, I mean,
The best way to do it is an email over there, so we
Yes.
have a paper trail.
yes.
Anybody else on property cleanup?
I guess, will one of you reach out and send an email about the returns of service? I usually don't get involved in property cleanup until a citation has actually been issued. Just because in the event that we need to there's a due process question, I have to call the witness into court and I can't testify. So if one of you would follow up for the return of service for Mr. Blea. And if we don't have the return of service for Ms. Harris, the return of service for that one as well.
That one I thought we did have,
Okay,
or we may have. I'll look when I get
Okay.
back in the office.
thank you.
Anybody else? Projects pending. I don't have any updates unless somebody else does. Moving on, streets project. Anything new there, Gary? Fireworks, we've already talked about.
Oh, yeah, different street stuff from Brock.
From Brock, oh, the two.
I can bring it up to Superintendent.
Let's do that. Fireworks we discussed, you wanna talk about utility rates at that time, or?
So, we provided you guys that with, for informational purposes. That was sent to us by, I believe it was the league.
Different towns.
Right, just for comparison, but as Jen pointed out, that's not exactly true to what our rates would be, so there, you guys can review it and then think on it, and we can get additional information, but that's kinda just, Jen can explain that part of it much better than I can.
Well, this first page, it's pretty valuable, but like, you'll see ours is highlighted, and it says our all-in rate is basically 13.23 cents, but they've included our meter fee with that, so that's really, this sheet's probably more, you know, cause we charge 12.25 cents per kilowatt hour, so, the next couple of pages that Jamie included, have different towns, the towns that we would usually compare our rates with, so that's something for you guys to look at. And I think, when Jamie and I talked about it earlier, we just thought you guys could review that, and then maybe, I won't be at the next council meeting, but, you know, maybe we can start talking about that.
I know it's
you know,
been
in the coming
discussed,
months to.
yeah, we've talked about it several times, we just never really done anything.
Right, it's just something to consider after what, you know, what I talked to you guys about last time, just our expenses are going up, so just some good information for you guys to look at to start with, and then
Thanks for
Yeah.
digging on that.
good conversation in the next few months to have.
Yeah.
Visitors, I think you guys were here first.
So we are, we're wanting to start a greenhouse. It would be on, 535 East First would be the address. It's my parents' lot, behind their house, if you guys are familiar with that. Upon looking, it is not zoned commercial, so we're asking if you guys would allow a variance so that we could open that, greenhouse on that property.
Across the alley?
Yep, it's the total property, I think, 6 lots. We'd be kinda on the west side of it is where we're gonna want to build that greenhouse.
What was your, goal to get that built by?
What's that?
What was your date to get that built by?
We're hoping, we're kinda behind schedule. We were hoping by maybe like the 1st of August to be built, on that. We kinda went a couple different routes. We started down one path and then we thought we could buy a used one. I went and looked at it today and that wasn't a viable option. So we're going back to our original, so, yeah, we're hoping to have it built and kind of up by before the 1st of August, so.
So, go ahead.
what we would need to do, and not necessarily at this moment, is we can discuss this, because what you guys will need to do is we'll need to look at the places around that area, because then they'll have to take those papers
They're gonna have
to
to,
the landowners, get 80% of the signatures. I explained this to them when they were in the office, something new for Jamie. So we can discuss that and figure out who all would be affected in that area. Then we'll prepare the papers in our office, let them know when they're ready. And then, as soon as they get the required amount of signatures, then they'll bring it back. We'll then present it at the council meeting. And then if they've got 80% of the signatures, as long as you approve of the initial request tonight, then you can approve that variance.
And that's precedent. I mean, that's what we've done in the past.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yep, that's standard procedure, so.
so we just need a motion to,
How big is the greenhouse?
It's gonna be about 1,500 square feet.
26 by 60.
No concrete, it's,
Just we'll just drive we're just gonna put the pilings in the ground, so.
any electricity or utilities go?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, which there's water on that property already, we're gonna run a line over to it. There was electric there that then got commandeered by Eagle Vive. So Dan and I talked about, setting a new meter for that, so. And then Midwest is gonna put a drop in for gas, so.
so what do I need the motion to say?
I don't think you need a motion at this time. I think that just,
Consensus again?
yeah, after you get through the visitors, I think, and get through the rest of the agenda, we can go over who would be affected. We can write that down, then we'll get them the papers that we need. So I don't necessarily know, the
Okay.
motion's gonna come when they come
Once
back
we
with
approve it.
80% of the signatures. So as, you know, as long as you're good with the project they're doing and a consensus that they can get the 80% of the signatures, I believe that will be good to start. Am I right?
Isn't it just, if I remember correctly, isn't it just, the one block over north, south, east, and west to where they're gonna be?
Well, I mean, it just kind of depends on what the blocks look like, and
Okay.
it just varies by the neighborhood, so that's why I think get through the rest of this agenda, and then we can go get a map and we can look at it.
There's nothing really around it, is there?
No, I mean, Dennis is across the street, the hair loft, there's more, I say there's more businesses around than actual residences.
You'd
So
have those houses,
There's
to the
two,
couple of houses to the west, so,
Yeah, they're both rented, so.
so we can get that, it'll be really simple,
Okay.
once you get through the rest of it, I'll get that map.
We'll work on it.
okay, perfect, thank you guys.
And then Jamie can just let you know when it's ready, and
Derek?
He was next.
I'm just here for my
Oh.
building permit to get through the
Okay.
mess.
So what my deal has to do with is, my cow's getting out, so, and city limits. So, I don't know where I wanna present this right now, but, so this here, this is what I received from the city, on this being my city limits. So here's my house, this is my pond, this here's, our calving pen, the corner here, and then all this along here we own as well. Our property then extends, here, I'll show you too, show all of it. So, we own all this as well, and then our property extends all the way up to the highway. So, we're in the county, and we're in the city. So, back in, I believe it was, the 1950s, population here was 3,500 people in Cheyenne County versus 1,200. This is the original layout of what city limits was. So city limits was originally the railroad tracks. In was city, railroad tracks out was county. This is your railroad track out county, railroad track in city. In the 1950s, I believe it was, Dan Siegfried told me that they annexed it in for the ponds that was dug on my property, the sand pits, which there's one of the ponds. Anyways,
You remember, the sand pit, huh?
Sand pit.
Yep.
Yeah, that down there.
so that's my pond. The sand pit here, sand pit there. Anyways, this was all dug. Anyways, in the 1950s, they had annexed it in. What I'm asking for is if I'm to move my fence, so I've spent over $10,000 building a fence. It's always had animals. Fred Sherlock, he had his animals here and here, both cattle, sheep, pigs, chickens, everything. That was pre my time. Brent Reed's dad raised cattle down here. That was in the 70s, I believe. Then another guy took it and raised some. Then Forsyth got it. Then I bought it. They only had little chunks of land. I have everything from basically road P over here all the way up to the highway. So my cows can easily get out of county and walk into city, and that's what they're mainly doing. So what I'm facing is the trees. So, I mean,
Got lots of trees.
so my fence is built down in all the trees, and like this last, here, I can just pass all in, you guys can just
Yeah.
look at them. This last winter, we lost between 100 and 150 trees. Well, when that falls on the fence, it knocks down the wires, or if deer jump on them, we have T-posts down there held on with the wires. I did take him down and showed him that our fence is good, 4 and 5 wire fence. I run cows down here. I run cows right out there on the highway almost to Hegler. You guys don't ever get no calls about my cows being out. There's no trees over there knocking down my fence. And that's what I'm up against, is it's built in the trees. So even if I was to take and build this over, which, we swim in this pond, so a fence, right now my cows swim across, and if they wanna get out, they'll just walk up the road and walk to the river walk. That's just what they do. But, if I was to even move my fence over to accommodate, I still have the exact same tree issues. Their trees are still gonna fall on it, they're still gonna walk right into town. So what I was going to ask is if I can be de-annexed from city limits, and if that's possible, I'll go through and double up my posts, where my fence posts are every 8 feet instead of every 12 to 16 feet. I can't, I mean,
I know what you're saying.
yeah, I can't help nature, and here's the deal, nothing's been improved down there. I mean, when it was annexed in, you guys, there's no city sewer, no city water, there's no fire hydrants every block. I mean, nothing like that's ever been done, so it's still just straight up pasture ground. So what I was showing on one of them pictures, and I kind of did, well, the other day, let's see, this picture. So technically, if I'm in city limits, this tree fell on my fence 3 years ago. I left it just because if I'm in, my cows have got out there, but if it's a city tree that fell on my fence, I've left it. I do have the equipment to move it, and I can move it, but it fell from the outside ditch to the inside, taking out my fence. But the other day, Keith Dankenbrink called me, and he said, hey, will you come out for Veterans Memorial Day and put flags out at the cemetery? And so we did that. On the way back, these calves here was in the ditch right down there on the north side of town. But nobody's gonna call it in. My road's heavily traveled.
No, I called that one in one time.
Did you? Okay. But, yes, and I know that you've walked around seeing my cows out too.
Yeah, we always just call and say, hey, cows are out, and they
Yeah.
come back in.
Yeah, they're good. They're good cows. I actually like having them. I guess we can add this to it.
The dumb question,
Okay, go for it.
it's the trees that are causing the problem.
Trees and deer, yes.
Probably mostly trees though, cause wind comes up and
Right.
the deer can usually get over it. But, is there any possibility of going through and clearing a path of the trees on both sides of the fence? Like they would do like with a high line?
There is, but it's like a forest down there.
Oh, I know,
So the easiest thing would be to know what the railroad's doing and shoot a fence straight down the railroad. Since we do own, 25 feet from 50 feet from the center railroad track, depending on what the railroad's doing, if they're not ever coming back, I could easily build a fence right there and then we would have no issues. But another thing is, right down here, this is all county. If they wanna get out, they just walk right there and they're at the old swimming pool again. And part of it, the cows was out 8 to 10 days in a row, and Amanda was calling it in at 5 o'clock in the morning. And, it was kind of a pain, but the cows had a transition period. They just got off bales of the winter. I just turned them out there on the river. I didn't know how much the fence was hurt. And I did have one cow that kept getting out, so I'd get called at 5 o'clock in the morning. Once we got some rain, and I still had bales, but cows, they want to see that the grass is greener and the park was greener, so one of them went over there 8 days in a row.
and it's always the
So
same.
at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was getting a phone call. So, but anyways, that's that. Thank you.
Well, I think we understand your dilemma, and we need to, probably get with Amanda and discuss what our options would be. I'd like to have her involved. 'Cause I don't know how to answer that, I'll just be upfront. We can definitely look into it, see what kind of options we have. And I understand what you're saying about cows getting out and not being able to control that all the time. I think that's been the main complaint. I don't think there's any question about whether or not people don't care if you have animals there or something. You're right, it's been there for years, as long as I can remember, even growing up out that direction.
Right.
So, any other,
It wasn't even where it was within the city limits.
well, I think we all learned something. I guess I'd forgotten all about it being annexed.
That was before my time, so
Yeah.
I've been in town.
Questions, comments?
I just think we have, it's an issue, but I think we've got a lot bigger fish to fry,
Yeah. I
to
agree.
be honest with you.
I agree.
What is the major issue? Why is this all starting now?
What do you mean by that?
If this has happened since 1950,
No, we're talking cows getting out.
yeah, exactly. And there's cows on it everywhere.
Well, it could very well be.
There is cows on it.
Yeah.
Actually,
But it's something that, you call and you make accommodations and it's
I think it's really because of the ordinance with the only allowing chickens and possibly ducks in the city limits is what kicked all of this off.
That's part of what started this.
And here's the
ordinance.
other thing, could we save definitively that the cows got out in city limits, or did they get out in the county and walk to city?
Basically, they're getting out in the county
Yeah,
and walking into the city.
So,
As far as the ordinance is written, that's a moot point. If there's an animal at large in the city, it's a violation of the ordinance, regardless of where it came from. And that's, I mean, I'm not saying one thing one way or another. If the council's gonna make a decision and on that and amend the ordinance or do something with it, you just need to be aware of that. I'm not having a position one way or another.
Sure.
I'm just stating that as far as the way the ordinance is presently written, regardless of where the animal comes from, if it's at large within city limits, it's a violation of city ordinance.
That's where it came from. That's the ordinance.
So how do you work that in a rural community
Yeah, it's-
where, I mean, there's been all sorts of animals
Oh,
that
yeah.
walk through town?
Yeah.
Does the ordinance need changed a little bit to
We need to look
compensate
into,
for
we
being
need
in
to
a
look
rural
into it and see.
community?
well, especially
Yeah.
after the new annex situation.
Parcels on the.
I didn't know the ordinance had been updated since the annex,
Exactly.
or, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. Won't be able to even trace anything that far back. As far as knowing whether the ordinance was changed that far back or.
I think, I mean, I don't know that this is gonna be able to be resolved tonight. I think there's
No.
gonna need to be a fair amount of
Yeah.
research done,
I agree.
and decisions for the council to
I
make.
think it's pertinent that somebody just calls you, if that happens, and you've been pretty good about taking care of it. So,
Right. Every time I've called, he's got them taken care of before we get clear around the second time.
Well, this paper, the paper that y'all gave me told me that I have till September 11th to remove my cows from our area.
and I think that's based on the ordinance. What we need to do is sit down and research this a little bit, talk it over, see if we can come up with a decision that will benefit both of us.
Okay.
So, I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. There's just certain procedures we have to go through. That's why you got the letter, based on the ordinance.
No
But
problem.
let us work through this a little bit.
Thank you very
So,
much.
Appreciate you coming. Anybody else comments? Okay. Any other visitors? Kelly? You waiting for a pool? Okay. Theater report.
I wasn't here for the last one, we were out of town.
I didn't go to the meeting.
They just-
The weather was bad. So.
Yeah, they just included the minutes. One question I had was, down at the bottom of the minutes, excuse me. I guess I don't understand, is the advertising they're talking about for the board outside?
No. That's the stuff that they wanna run before the movies.
Before the movies, inside?
But they're still working on that, my understanding.
That was the only question I had.
I did ask Jessica if they made a decision, and they're still working on the format.
The big hiccup on that is getting the platforms to work together, getting you know, how they're gonna make that work, with Zip Drive, they're just working on how to make that. I think
I was gonna say,
you
I
can
know
probably
there was
speak
a
to
meeting
this.
on Friday, so that we can finally, be able to make it in proper format, cause it's really different than anything else we've ever
Right.
done. But we have software now, so I think we're moving forward.
Perfect.
You have software now?
We do, yeah, we get downloaded, yeah, it's.
And they've come up with, I hope it will come up with a really good plan to make this work, and Alicia has put together a really good, flyer for people. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that they're looking at what, $100 a month? Is that
Well,
correct?
It'll be $120 a month.
$120,
$20
okay.
for the ad, so the plan is to, the city, right now, we believe the procedure will be, City Hall will have the forms. We will collect the money. We will put the forms in Jessica's basket. And then Three Hounds will bill us for the ads that they create, that way we have a paper trail. And then I believe, so it's $100 for 1 month of advertising. I think they're just gonna have to see how many people they wanna advertise. I don't think at the beginning, David, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're gonna allow someone to say, pay $300 so they get the first 3 months. I think they wanna see how many people wanna advertise and kind of rotate the ads, isn't that, am I on the right track with that?
Yeah,
So-
and I think one of the concerns was they didn't want someone who wanted to advertise not be able to because there wasn't enough space.
Right,
And I'm thinking that's a great problem for us to have.
sure,
Instead of us starting $2,000, $3,000 in the hole every month, we could actually start out in the black.
So you're talking about the
So-
money going back into the theater fund?
yeah, I mean, this would be as income for the theater. Also, you guys should have the theater revenue and expense report, so, I forgot to mention that, but. So, yeah, I think once we get all the keys worked out, formatting, then I believe that's the way it's gonna work. And so, anyway,
Anybody have any questions? Is there any motion to approve the theater report?
Move to approve.
Moved by Justin, seconded by Bud. All in favor? Pass. Pool report. Kelly, you wanna talk about private lessons or something?
Well, I need to know where we're at.
Okay.
I can really go forward with anything, I feel like.
They're,
The pool's filling right now,
yeah,
so when we push the on button, if nothing explodes or.
Oh, okay, all right.
we can't make any promises at this,
Yeah,
we can't make any promises at this point, but we're hoping that by next Monday, and I'll emphasize hoping, cause we've gotta run through the tests and make sure everything's gonna fly.
I feel like Monday would be pushing it, but it's okay.
Well, it could be, we don't know yet,
I mean,
until Dan gets it filled and runs through what he needs to
you guys
do.
seem-
So what is your
Timeline
plans for
yourself
opening
like-
day? When are you looking at for that?
Well, I hate to even put a tentative
I
date
know.
on it yet.
But if Monday comes and goes and everything looks good,
We'll get it open, we wanna get it open as quick as we possibly
Okay.
can.
well,
But there's some other work that's gotta be done too.
I was gonna say, I think we need to ask Kelly her concerns with that timeline too, to make sure everybody's in agreeance, because,
Okay,
So we had to chip the sidewalk out in one spot to get to the problem. So what we're gonna do is watch that spot for now, we're gonna leave it open, watch it. Before you decide to open, we'll cover it with sand and put plywood down for the time being, so it can be walked on.
on the south side,
Okay, I'm just gonna have to go look, cause I mean, I understand the south side,
Yeah.
South side.
when I drove by, I saw mounds of dirt.
That-
And
that'll be-
that's all I
That'll be
know.
gone eventually.
I mean, that's all I know, is that mounds of dirt, and I saw Dan and somebody else walking around in the shallow end. That's all I saw today, so
So,
I didn't know if you built, so,
and I imagine you have a lot of balls in the air you're having to juggle to get ready for this time, right?
well, yeah, I mean, we just, yeah, I mean, I need to know, yeah, I guess,
anyways, so
I mean-
we found a broken coupler finally.
okay,
The worst thing about it is it takes a long time to find a broken coupler when you build a pool in spring. All the listening devices they have, all they
Sure.
can hear is water, so.
yeah, that's what he kept saying. Well, I hear water, I don't know if it's the rain or if it's the,
Yeah, we finally found it
okay,
Saturday,
and we worked till about 10 o'clock that night. And that guy worked his butt off to get that
he did,
coupler
he
put
was,
back on there,
he,
and Dan actually had turned the lights on so he could keep going.
he has worked hard on.
He got the coupler in and had it almost completely tight,
Yeah.
and then came back on Sunday.
Yeah, we tested it and stuff and it seemed to be alright, so. Yeah, we washed it down this morning, we're filling, should be full Wednesday sometime. So, I'm gonna put the true test to it again.
Okay.
We still have to get the big pile put back in.
We're gonna work on that tomorrow, we can do all that while it's filling, so.
But did you talk anymore like with Sewer or Brock, or you just gonna try to use your equipment?
We're just gonna pack it in the best we can right now under there.
I'll say this, the guys that have been down there, Dan and Kaylee and, Billy, been busting their butts
Yeah, they have.
on this thing. And I think there's been some miscommunication too, that we were aware of this issue last year, and that is not the case.
Other than that, I've heard the city didn't winterize it right, well, this has nothing to do with
No.
winterization. So, it's just a pool, it's 9 years old now, that's just the way it is.
Well, there's a possibility that the ground settled
Yeah.
or moved a little bit
I
too.
think the whole thing is built on a spring,
Yeah,
Well, that doesn't help it.
so.
I'm sure the water goes up and down in there and
well, how much water, after you drained it, came back in there, was it 6 foot in the deep end?
once we shut down and started draining again, or getting down, it was a foot. We lost a foot of water in 2 days. Out of the spring, so I guess we were filling the aquifer, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a tough break, but I'll say this, these guys have been on top of it and working their tails off to,
'Cause we were losing, so I'll just tell everybody here, I'm not trying to hide anything, we were losing 800 gallons an hour. So that's how we decided we had to shut down, so.
and you cambered that one line thinking that,
We cambered everything, you would've never found that with the camera.
no, it was on the outside.
It finally just surfaced for us, but they've got or the vapor barrier under all the concrete, so that was holding the water under, and it finally turned loose and let us know where it was, and
Some of the stuff wasn't in the plans.
what's that?
Some of the stuff wasn't in
Ask
the
Dan
plans.
about the plans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the plans we've got are crazy. We had red line drawings, which is supposed to be how they're built now, that weren't correct, so. But I got a bunch of pictures now I can look at.
So question back on, whenever we open it back up, you're gonna pack all that dirt in best you can right now. You have a plan to cover that dirt with something?
We'll cover it back up with the
AstroTurf.
AstroTurf.
Yeah, it had the AstroTurf, we just pulled it back.
You just, okay, perfect.
So.
I'm just thinking all them kids will
Then
be
if
right
it's-
in the middle of
if
that
it's
mud, right in
subsettled,
the
we'll
pool.
just have to go in and add more.
Yeah.
If
And Kelly, you're
don't believe it,
aware-
Go down there where they dumped that, where the city dumped it for the sand for the ball diamond. Good lord, that one night I went down there, it looked like we had every kid in the whole city on that thing. They had the sand everywhere.
Kids will be kids.
You're aware that you can have the kids get in there and do more work and clean up and paint and whatever you would need them to do.
Okay.
Amanda and I basically approved that last week, and we want the kids, if you can use them, put them to work. One recommendation.
One of the thing that, like, the reason that they did not over the weekend is because Tally and I were both gone.
Oh, that's fine.
And Molly had previous plans also,
Yeah.
so I just felt like because some people don't know, some people haven't painted before, so I just feel like it would be better to have a little supervision rather than
One
just
thing
say,
that,
go paint.
one thing we
Yeah.
might recommend
Yeah,
is I would gut the inside, just take everything out. And we've had some mouse evidence in there.
yeah, I know. I'm aware of that, I just
Yeah.
didn't want, we were trying to keep the stuff and the kids out of the way
Oh, I
for
know.
them to be able to fix.
Yeah.
We're gonna also, I'm gonna contact Hinkle Pest Control.
Okay.
To get some bait boxes.
Okay, I do put some down
I think-
every year,
yeah.
cause we always have, during the summer, it's really not usually too bad.
Right.
Once in a while, we find one, but during the winter mice go through there.
I think that,
Awesome in there one night.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think we'll just start
That's gonna take
utilizing.
a
Did you write it up?
big box.
I think we'll start utilizing this.
It's a wild
Yeah,
animal,
that's
on
right.
the loose
Boxes
in
will
town.
hopefully eliminate as much as
Wasn't a
we
pet
can.
though.
Yeah,
That's fine.
it could have been,
How you doing?
They could have, we don't know that.
yeah,
Every summer.
I figured that, but it occurred to me when I was down there, cause I was down there quite a bit over the weekend, just case they needed someone to run or whatever, and so I saw that, and the light bulb went on, like,
Yeah, that's
because we
great.
could just utilize that all year long, they can tell us the best place to put it, you know, it's like,
Sure.
so, I'm gonna try to remember to call them tomorrow if the council's okay with it, just
Yeah.
start utilizing that,
Okay.
I just don't know when they'll be back next, but you'll see those show up, and I think
Sorry?
hopefully that'll help even throughout the winter, maybe kind of deter.
Not over the winter. Is that what you mean? Yeah. He was asking if we leave food over there over the winter.
No,
No.
well, I mean, I may have had coffee in there, but no, there's not food typically. I think there were some chips in there that got left in there this year, but typically, there's not. Typically, everything is cleaned out, I mean, food-wise.
I wish we could give you a definite time frame, but
That's okay, this kind of makes me have a little heart palpitation, I'm gonna have to figure a couple things out before we can open. So,
you know, you and
that's
Dan
fine,
can
but-
kinda talk when he's getting a little more confident about having the pool actually up and going, and then he can give you a better feel on kind of timeline on what it's gonna take to get the surface ready. The outside surface, the concrete and whatever finished up.
I don't have the dirt, so it's not cold, I can just stay this full. Go tomorrow, we'll start putting it back in.
I just wanna make a point that feel free to use the kids if you can put them to work.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
understand that.
Cause we know that puts you in a tough position, puts the kids in
I've
a
talked to
tough
Tally
position.
about, coming down, I think she can come down a couple days this week, and, I will see
Yeah, I'm
what I
done
can
living
do.
there, I hope.
Huh?
I'm done living there.
I
You
know.
can have it.
I know. Yeah, we'll get done what we can get done. But on that note, if we are gonna open, I do need to know something about private lessons.
So what do you want to do?
I wanna know if we can have private lessons. Because we have had several people request private lessons.
And did you figure out when you could do them?
Well, she was gonna try Saturdays since we have to be open on Mondays. Originally, it was gonna be Monday afternoons, but, if we're open on Monday afternoons, we can't do that, so we were gonna try Saturdays. I am gonna go ahead and have a party booked for Friday, and I'm gonna tell them that they can't do it Friday. I did talk to her this morning, and she has alternative plans, but I'll just tell her that she will have to go with those alternative plans, that we may or may not have it full by Friday, but,
I would say that,
I just feel like that's
right
pushing
now
it
would be the
too
earliest
much.
would be Friday.
Yeah, I just feel like that's pushing it too much, so I'll just go ahead and tell her,
Of course, we don't want it, don't mind being cold, it'll probably be ready.
well, right, right. So, and I would guess, if there is water in it, then Molly would probably go ahead and start lessons on Monday. Or Tuesday, if we can.
What kind of format are you looking at? Like, so, the public swimming lesson she's doing, she's getting paid per session. Were you looking at the same concept with
What
that,
the
or?
board had told me was to do like a half hour hourly rate, and I know she was thinking half hour. But we're open to she's open to whatever. It's
So-
just the thing that we've had requests for the last several years, and Morgan hasn't been able to, and Molly can, but we need to know how to do it, or
Well,
how
we-
you would like for us to do it.
What we discussed at the pool board was, $30 an hour. Based on, and then her compensation would be as a city employee
For the private lessons?
for the private lessons.
Right, for private lessons, and $20 for half an hour. And there'll be more half hours than there will be
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, that's true. That's what the pool board had basically decided.
Are they gonna be open more for the tax-paying people
We
of
are
the
open.
city? Not
Yes.
just for our kids?
Well,
I mean, most of us work till 5.
the hours that we have put down for this year to be open are Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5. Sundays from 2 to 8, Wednesday nights from 7 to 9. I had planned, we've missed one or two of the teen swims and the adult swims, so I'll have to relook at that. We have aquasize and laps every morning, Monday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. Laps Monday, let me think, aquasize is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 5:30 to 6:15.
In the evening.
In the evenings. Laps are from 6:30 to 7:30 on Mondays and Fridays. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 6:30. We've had parties, the majority of the time we have parties every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evening. So I guess I'm open to when else we can be open, I just don't.
Sunday afternoons?
We are open Sunday afternoons from 2 to 8.
2 to 8. Yeah. I think the pool board feels like she's maximizing the best use of hours that we can at this point. We've increased the amount of hours, let's put it that way.
Does it, you ever feel like people, you try to get this information out to people and people just, like, I've told people this 1,000 times, they still don't get it, cause I'm hearing you and I'm like at church, you know, we have a website, we have a Facebook page, we have a bulletin, we make announcements, and my own wife will say, what are we doing? Like, how do you not know what we're doing?
Well, I mean, I know that there are people who don't, and I do understand that, and I guess if we, in the past, we've had, as I said, almost every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday evening is a party booked, and so we don't have a lot of extra time to be open like in the evenings unless we just don't do that.
And the parties are good for the pool and the city also.
Parties make the pool a good amount of money, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, I just need to, like I said, I just need to know if it's okay for her to do privates or not.
Need a motion to approve private lessons by Molly at $30 for an hour or $20 for half an hour. And compensation for Molly will be from city employment. Need a motion for that, please?
So
Moved by David, second by Randy, all in favor? Pass. Good?
And then we'll just work together this, find that date. Okay.
Thank you, Kelly. Thanks for hanging in there.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I don't know, do we need a motion to, thank you, guys.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
See you, bye.
Do we need a motion to accept and file the pool report?
So moved.
Moved by Randy, second by Bud, all in favor? Pass. Superintendent report.
Here's your note from
That was in the box this morning.
just passing along like I always do.
Do what?
The note from the roadside call.
Oh,
Wow.
that's an amenity, dang it.
I already come in, but not on that. No, not for that stuff.
our small customer plan for 2026 did get done. That's our WAPA interview. We got all that turned in like it's supposed to be. I do have somebody wanting a water tap, and since we've been tying up the pool and everything, I went ahead and had the sewer give us a estimate on it. The person was good with that price, so we're gonna go ahead with that. And sewer will do the water tap.
He's just paying him direct.
No, we'll pay him, and then it'll all be reimbursed from the person getting the tap. Mike had something here for a teeter totter for the park, but I think all the stuff going on, we ought to wait a while and see, 'cause it's like $16.
I agree. Until we know kinda how they're gonna come out.
Okay, so Ready Mix, I don't know if you guys got the quotes. Anyway, you can see the one's just the intersection, basically, so many feet. It's 23,000 for 50 by 45. The other one is the whole street from Lorraine to College, 278,388 to do it, and that's all concrete.
So you're talking about at the east end of Spencer?
That last block.
Yeah, but I mean, just the,
The 23,000 is just that, it's only 50 by 45 spot, so it'll be right there, yeah, right at the drive of the school.
So it's actually gonna be both of these to do all of that.
No, it'd
No.
be either this
Either that
or we
or
go to
that.
this, yeah, or we go to 278, 388.
and that's all concrete.
Buses drive.
Oh, yeah.
And I know we were looking for a project for the bond, extra bond money, so that's where part of that would come from. I don't know exactly how much.
Bigger one,
Nelson,
get a little bit done.
I agree.
That one, that street is good.
Jamie can tell you how much we have right now.
Yeah, in the bond fund account as of May 31st, 194,582.01. So considerably.
Is there anything we'd have to do special to, I'm probably not saying this right, to release those funds? or to
We've
use those
already
funds?
spoke with them. We would need to send them which choice, you guys already did a motion for that. We would just need to send them this, and then they would create the resolution and send it back to us.
So we're basically looking at, my math's
How
not
much
too.
was that was in the bond fund?
194,582.
So just short of 200.
Basically 195,000.
So we'd be looking about roughly $85,000 difference. I guess where I stand on it is that's exactly why we got into the bond fund. Do you think it's a good move?
I mean, I never priced it out in asphalt, but I still think you gotta do that one Indian concrete no matter what, 'cause the buses are gonna keep tearing that out.
But this would eliminate the maintenance for the
Yeah.
most part.
For 10 years or something.
Yeah.
At least. I think we should.
5.5 inches of concrete.
I mean, it's
A
just
lot
a
of
good
these
way to start, I
streets
guess,
in
start
concrete.
there and see how it works out.
I like to see a lot more streets in concrete. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
I do, except like 8th Street in Gillen is rough for the cop for brand new concrete.
Yeah, there's a lot of truck traffic.
8th Street, is that the one, that's the one on the north?
It goes by
Or-
Casey's,
yeah.
if you.
Yeah,
Comes from the highway,
Yeah.
by the highway.
but it's not all concrete. Is it?
Pretty much.
The part that is rough.
It's-
I
it's
thought
a
some of it
lot.
was asphalt.
Well, and they're gonna
It is.
redo it too, I heard at one point, but
I mean, there's only one way to try, is to, if you got the money, is to try it, see how it works out. Brock's talking about doing it in thirds, I think.
So would the difference come out of capital improvements?
We're at there.
Well, they would offer that solution, wouldn't they?
We could tell them where we're at and they would,
Well, it would be your decision where you wanna put
Yeah.
the balance. You could either do capital improvement, you've got that infrastructure improvement fund.
What's in infrastructure, do you know?
oh,
Look at page 2 of this revenue with cash expense report, it's back with your financials. The front page looks like this. So if you go to page 2, the infrastructure improvement is 728,274.63. So I mean, if I did my math right, and if anybody else did the math, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. If you did the full street and concrete and we took off the amount, and that, the bond account goes up every month because we collect interest, of course, but it looks like 83,805.99 would be the balance as of today, if you motion to approve this. I mean, yeah, we do probably a little bit, but not $700,000 worth.
I'm sorry, I missed, where's the 83 coming from?
that's the balance after.
The difference?
Yeah.
Why not take it out of infrastructure?
I think we're planning to take streets out of there, you know, and I don't know that I'm gonna get around to getting a lot done with G and H this year. I'll see what I can get done, but this pool kinda jammed me up a little bit.
What about any fog ceiling,
I haven't talked to them about fog sealing.
like college?
They're not big fans of fog sealing.
Sure.
I've talked to them about it, and if we wanna do it, we can, but that's up to you guys. They're just
They're
not.
bigger on chip sealing.
He just said that you can fog it and it'll work, it just doesn't do as much as chip. But it just makes your street black again, then everybody's mad because they gotta wait for it to dry.
Didn't we already chip seal colleagues, like we talked about here a couple months ago?
Crack seal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
crack seal.
Yeah.
I just think it helps keep the cracks, all that fog seal helps keep cracks and.
Yeah, I don't, I'm just saying they weren't big fans, I don't know.
I don't know enough about it.
I gotta go off.
I know it's pain in the butt, the weight, but I do think it does help lock it all
You
in.
wanna do it fair time?
Yeah.
You think it helps more than chip sealing?
Oh, no, but I think it helps lock everything in. It just gives you a little bit more life. Yeah.
Okay.
And we could look at fog seal, I mean, cause basically you'd want a fog seal that's already chipped.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fog seal a road you haven't chipped, but myself, from what I've talked to him. But then you might wanna, I don't know, I guess we need to look, cause you might wanna chip seal that down by the park too, where we just had all that done.
Yeah.
I have to look at that too, so. I don't know if I can get rock here this late in the year. I mean, I'm sure I could, I just don't know. I'd have to find out.
Well, I guess if you get rocking, then we'll know where we stand.
Okay.
So, you're thinking he'd do this in thirds?
I thought that's what he said, but I can't swear to that.
What's the consensus from everybody as far as getting, the east end of Spencer taken care of?
I drove on that street one time, yeah.
The east end of Spencer, up towards the football field,
It's the
All-
500 block.
500 block, all the way from,
College to Lorraine.
College to the old Lorraine.
Are you gonna go in?
I don't think that's a higher priority street we have in our town right now. Jackie and I work that gate for tickets.
Yeah.
Everyone from out of town comes down that street. Everyone from out of town, and that's the first impression. Cause right now, up on the highway at college, that's all pretty good now. And so, but then they turn right there, and so I think that's,
It's awful.
Are they gonna make it, like, going into the gate?
I don't know. I didn't talk to him about that. I just talked to him about our road,
We'd have-
basically.
We'd have to get with school on that, wouldn't we?
It's, yeah, they're gonna go what street, the street width is, what they're gonna do for us.
Entire street.
Yeah.
Which would go a little bit in there.
Is there any curb and gutter in there that's gonna have to be redone?
There's a couple curves that got hit.
So nothing major?
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him about that either.
I think, Bud, are you on board with this?
You know, we're just looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we need a motion. Do I need to split this since there's two funds?
okay, what exactly the scope of work we're doing? I'll make sure I'm clear on this.
Okay, we're gonna do from Washington Street, Washington and Spencer, all the way down to Washington and what used to be Old Lorraine.
No, not Washington.
Not Washington.
College.
College, I know what you meant.
Okay, you say it.
Well, so I think probably what would suffice, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is if this is what you choose to do, you would motion to accept the bid from Brock to do the 500 block of East Spencer.
Mhm. And then we send this to the bond attorney and then motion for the rest of the balance. But we don't know how much that is until after.
Well, so what I think the motion should be, if this is what you wanna do with the bond money,
The balance out of the infrastructure?
is to motion to use the remaining bond money.
84 grand.
Not really sure what to do because the amount is gonna change.
Right.
So I think they could just say,
Do we need to send it to them first and let them draft the resolution and then?
well, I mean, the worst case would be is if they can't draft the resolution, they'd have to rescind the whole thing because then the project may be on hold.
Right.
So I think if they would motion to accept Brock's bid in the amount of $278,388,
And then the balance,
yeah,
whatever that may be.
and just say that you wanna use the remaining bond funds, and the balance will be paid out of the infrastructure improvement fund. Lauren, does that sound about right, since that bond account, it's not, I mean, it changes each month with interest, so we may be
Right.
talking 1 to 2 months, so we don't really have I hate for them to lock in the balance tonight, and
Right.
we have 2 months worth of interest.
Right.
And that should suffice the Gilmore and Bell, I think. Don't you think, Jamie, if they say the remaining bond funds and then the balance to be paid out of infrastructure improvement?
Yes.
I think after your conversation, that would be,
I'm
Okay.
assuming.
I don't know, I think with what you said, so do you want me to repeat that again?
No, I just have one other question before we do. We're talking contract. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I say yes.
You can correct me if I mess it up.
Lauren stare at him too, so he gets it right.
Look at her.
I need a motion to approve St. Francis Ready Mix and Construction on the estimate of $278,388 to do the concrete repairs on the whole block from College Street to Old Lorraine Street, and use the remaining bond funds
On which street?
Spencer Street.
Oh, Spencer.
on Spencer Street.
And use the
Spencer
remaining-
Street to Old Lorraine Street, and use the remainder of the bond funds. And then the balance that's left over to be paid out of infrastructure fund.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by David, second by Justin. Do we need to vote on this?
That's why I asked Lauren, because we don't have,
I don't,
have permanent numbers, right, at this time, this is the best.
they don't have to have a roll call on
I
that.
don't think, I don't.
You don't think so, being so we're with, the only reason I'm asking is because of the bond fund.
No, because you're gonna have the resolution that you're gonna,
Question?
Well, he's asking, and just I wanna make sure that he's clear on this. He's talking from where to where?
Spencer Street from College up to Old Lorraine.
Okay,
So you're basically talking the football practice field all the way up to where you go into the football and track area.
The street in front of Holy Carmichael's house.
yeah, that's this one right here,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna do that entire street in concrete.
Okay, and that's a well enough traveled street?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
For football games, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not only
And buses.
football, but school and buses
School,
and,
buses, everything.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not on that end of town,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
so
Go,
I
go
don't-
drive it tonight. You'll
Don't drive it
understand.
tonight, drive it the daylight.
Drive it with daylight, otherwise.
Right,
you'd be
stay to the
lost.
left.
But don't go fast. You'll lose your front end.
Even that's,
Motion was
Any
made
other
by
instructions?
David. Motion was made by David, seconded by
Stop.
Justin. All in favor?
yeah.
Motion passed.
Perfect, thank you.
Clear as mud.
I just, Laura was sitting over there.
Are you ready to give that back to Amanda?
Amanda, where are you?
Lauren's looking at me.
Just so you know, with my track record lately, hopefully we don't have a water.
From now on, when we have one
Amen
that's
to that.
complicated like that, we'll write it out and then you can read it.
That's just my luck lately.
I think this is a great idea, guys.
How do you think?
Oh, yeah.
All right, now I gotta find it.
Alright, we'll send that tomorrow,
Yeah, you really do.
Fun note.
isn't it?
Yes, you need a motion to that.
So for other thing that you guys, I think everybody said, it's sent my email.
Was that before the last meeting? I thought,
That was supposed to be the last meeting.
That was supposed to be the last meeting. So everybody should have
So-
this in their packet.
Due to the nature of the beast, obviously, needing fixed right away, I talked to Amanda, we decided to go with it. But now we're gonna have a motion to do it, even though I don't have a total bill.
so I needed a motion to approve Carruthers Construction Company, to come in and repair the pool. And the amount will be determined
I mean, I'll get you a bill.
once I get
if we have it.
figured out.
It's not gonna be cheap.
Anything else I need to add?
I think that that would be sufficient,
Okay, I need a motion.
because that's the best.
I was gonna make a motion until he said it's not gonna be cheap.
Moved by Justin,
Negotiation.
second by Bud.
As long as the rest
All in
of them,
favor?
I don't care what you do.
Got all that?
I'm glad you like to write. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite?
Yes.
What else you got, Dan?
I don't think I have anything else correct.
Well, you,
Well,
well, you haven't been
you
doing
might
it.
just keep in mind that we still need a bucket truck eventually. I haven't got any more pricing, but I'll see what I can do.
I have no idea what you've been doing the last week.
I heard he was hanging out at the pool all day.
Yeah, and not in the water.
Hanging out at the pool all
And
day.
half the night.
Eating lunch, hanging at
Just hanging out at the pool.
And not a beer inside.
When you get a chance.
Not there anyway.
Not there.
Across the pool, there's that vacant lot right there. It's me and I,
That way,
to the, towards Grave, yeah,
or what?
Grave, or towards.
Yeah,
East
the
End.
letter already been
Okay.
sent. Yeah. I will get that out, so that's the only one I actually sent. I told Wyatt we need to get a letter now, so we can get it mowed before long. Like I said, that guy will mow it.
There
Nobody
was
will
another
mow
one
No.
on College Street all the way down towards. I did it, okay,
After somebody can
okay, got it.
Who you-
That's all I saw.
call that called the old.
Who you talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I got, well, I went to go right,
okay,
look at the Monday and they were mowing it right when I drove by.
that was pretty tall too.
I think, just putting the bug out there, we still need a bucket truck. We probably do need to look at a trash truck eventually. I know LaSure sent me some information on some the other day, they do sell them at other cities, it's not terrible. If I ever have time to look at them or whatever.
You just keep saying that.
So, I know, when I'm retired, I guess I'll go look at stuff for the city. Other than that, I did order some more pool chemicals today, but it was only like $600 for outside.
Speaking of that, what's your time frame on that? You gonna have that in time to
What's that?
put in with the chlorine stuff?
Oh, we got chlorine and acid.
Well, I know you got chlorine, but what about the algaecide?
I dumped 1 gallon in today already.
Oh, okay, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
right, so. Other than that, I think most of you know, but I'll just put it out there. As of the end of the month, I'm no longer gonna be on the fire department, so Chris Lamarga will probably take over fire chief until they do an election for the city. He's the assistant chief now, so. Mm. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll probably need 5 minutes executive session.
For,
Discuss employee. Yeah. Basically, that's where workman's comp.
You won't be at the next meeting.
And I won't be here next meeting. She let me say that. I know I'm not gonna be here next meeting.
anybody have any questions for Dan? Your motion to approve superintendent's report.
Some of them, say,
Moved by Randy, second by Justin, all in favor. Attorney report.
We had couple of things. We had municipal court a couple weeks ago, and there was an animal at large citation which was resolved, and the case was presented about animals running through town during that case as well. And I think that there's, based on the conversation that was happening today, as we move forward, there are 2 different ordinances that we need to be mindful of which one we are addressing when we are addressing this. There is one ordinance which prohibits keeping livestock within the city limits. There is another ordinance which prohibits animals from running at large within the city limits. So we need to be careful when we're discussing these that we're keeping the keeping of animals and the running of animals at large in 2 separate categories. Just as a clarification point, because I think that that's getting muddled, especially when the comment came up, well, there's a possum. Well, was he cited? Well, the possum's not owned by anyone. And so the keeping of animals and the running at large of animals are 2 separate ordinances as we move forward there. I had messaged Amanda and didn't hear back when we were doing building permits. Was Dennis Yingers approved?
Yes.
Okay. I would ask that if the council wanted to consider a modification to that approval with a verbiage being given on his approval that states the city is acknowledging awareness of a potential property line discrepancies and approving the building permit as submitted, with the understanding that the city makes no statement, representation, or warranty about the accuracy of the boundaries shown on the building permit as submitted, and the city shall not be liable for future determinations that the property boundaries differ from those represented.
Amanda told me, she wants it left as is for now.
She messaged me after the building permits were approved.
Tonight?
Yes.
Oh.
At
I wasn't aware of that. I'm just going off what she told me this morning.
Oh.
Well, we printed a statement on there.
Yeah, that statement on the back.
Oh,
Is it?
This is an addition.
Oh,
This is
that
the.
makes sense now.
This
So
is
this
the.
additional comp-
What is the statement on the? I don't know if I see the statement on the back.
Amanda provided it to us.
Perfect. Yes. No. That's good. That's the thing.
So we're good on both, we're good on both sides, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think that I had that, but yes. Then never mind. I hope to have the recodification changes and amendments as discussed in our meetings done by next meeting. Has Amanda gotten with you?
About.
Chapter 4?
No.
Okay. There were notes that Amanda and I needed to discuss for chapter 4. She said she was gonna get with Jamie to put something out on the clerk link and then get back with me with that.
What's the subject? Sorry, I don't have them memorized yet.
I also don't have them memorized. I just know it's under building 4, Article 4 building codes, or chapter 4 building codes.
Okay. I sent her stuff about mobile homes, but I don't recall this one.
Give me 1 second here to pull it up.
Can you hand me the bills that he signed, please? Thank you.
Service buildings regarding trailer houses, house trailers and camps. Section 4-1014.
I don't know anything about that. She asked me to look for mobile home park ordinances, and I sent her the ones that we've received.
And then RV park licenses.
No, we didn't look up RV park licenses. So that's, okay. I can do that.
And the service building. So 4-1014, and then
Is this stuff you're waiting on clarifications on?
4-110. Yeah, I have in my notes that I was going to review it with Amanda, and Amanda and I met, and in our meeting she said that she thinks it would be pertinent to have Jamie put something on the clerk link, and that she would get with Jamie to discuss that. And so I'm just following up on that, and I know she's been.
How long ago was that?
Oh, not very. Week.
Because I sent, like I said, I got the mobile home ordinances sent to her, but I don't know if I don't remember anything about RVs or service buildings, but I can go ahead and put that up tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. I have a general complaint about the lack of the return of service with the things getting served. We had one municipal court incident where nobody showed up to court, and we couldn't issue them a show cause order or a contempt order because we didn't have a return of service. It was done by a doorpost. It was done by posting it on the place of residence in one instance and leaving it with a person over the age of 18 for another one. But because it wasn't with those people, they hadn't signed the citation, so we didn't have a signature on the citation, and there wasn't a notice. There wasn't a return of service with it, so.
So you're talking about from the sheriff's?
From the sheriff's department, and so, I guess I'm just bringing it to the council's attention. I brought it to their attention. In municipal court, the judge made the deputy come over and explain why there wasn't one, and so I'm hoping that will resolve it. But with the property cleanups, possibly not. But we just
have Amanda say something to Cody.
Yeah, I can do that. I just wanted to let the council know that was something that we had run up against, with the lack of returns of service, and it sounds like we have it again. I mean, I don't know if we need to talk to the sheriff's department about the timing of service, because the property cleanup ordinances state for the first citation it's $25 a day. For the second time it's $50 a day, and for every time after that within 12 months it's $100 a day. And if we're sending them notices that their properties are out of compliance on 5/12 and they're not getting them until 6/4, their property is out of compliance for all of those days. And so there's an issue then of when are we starting to toll the fees?
So it
Because
doesn't go back to when they actually sign off on it or sign for it, or when they've received it?
It should be when they receive it. But the problem is that at $100 a day, we're 30 days later, we're 20 days later. I mean, we're $2,000, $3,000 short of what the city could be collecting for these things. We're $200, $300. I mean, at $25 a day, not only is it out of compliance longer because they're not receiving their citation or they're not receiving their notice, and so they don't get to either calling the city or starting to work on it or doing something with it. If the letter was dated 5/12 and it wasn't served until 6/4, what was happening for all of those days? Why was that not served? This is someone who's in the community. I believe they live in Bird City. I know there's at least 2 individuals with the sheriff's office who live in Bird City. I'm unclear as to why service was not effectuated for almost 4 weeks. And I don't know that that's necessarily my place.
No, probably better have Amanda.
I think he needs to show up to the meeting
Well, yeah, that would help too.
and explain to the board what happened.
That's a good point.
And why the service is half a month late, a month and a half late.
I mean, I just don't understand why. I understand that sometimes they have transport, they have other things, they have.
About a month?
Right. I mean,
Let's try to remember to bring that up next time he's in here.
okay.
Well, when's the last time he was here?
I've only seen him once.
It would have been, was it March?
He had one time this year.
Ms. Troy's been here once or twice. Mike once. Okay.
Well, Troy's been here, but nothing. I think Troy said something once, but other than that.
Anything else, Lauren?
I don't have anything further.
Okay. I have a motion to accept and approve the attorney report. Moved by Justin, seconded by Bud. All in favor? Treasurer report.
Would you take one and pass them down, alternated them? So the first thing we'll go over, when I stepped out earlier, I went ahead and printed the maps so we can discuss who Adam and Aaron will need to get. I've alternated them, so hopefully, so who they'll need to get signatures from.
Is there more, different pages?
So
Oh, you've already got that done.
well, you guys will need to decide, and I'm gonna be really frank with you. We can talk about the properties they need to go to. I'm not saying that what I printed tonight, the owners are accurate, because I'm not sure the last time they were updated. So we can discuss the property addresses, and then we can pass that on. So everybody should end up with one that says block 1 and block 52. So I had alternated them.
Oh,
It didn't work out real well.
you had them already preset?
I did.
Maybe go, and they've got old hands.
And then I just marked out the side that will not be affected. Cause this is the first time I printed these, so. So block 52 will be the people across the street from the lot, and then block 1 will be the people on their side of the street. So I don't know how you guys normally choose who, how you do that. They are correct, when they say that, to the west is
West flipping G2s. Dennis Jinger flipping G2s.
Well, that's why I made the disclaimer, because the first time I've done it, I haven't been updated, so we'll have to, I don't know.
So here's college, here's Lorraine, and this is East First Street, so this is their property here. And so we're, Jen's saying that we might have to talk to people around the property, we have to make sure they're okay with them rezoning that.
He'll have to.
And what it's for, Bud, is they're asking for a variance to run their business. The variance will only be for their business. If they, choose to shut it down or they choose to sell it, then new owners will have to come in. That's with variances, it's only for the people who apply.
So, yeah, so that means that if they shut it down, then does it automatically revert back to just residential?
It is residential, you're just
asking for
granting a variance
Okay,
for
alright.
them to run their
Okay,
business.
perfect.
And what kind of a business was it?
Greenhouse.
That was the greenhouse one that we're talking about?
TXC.
Yeah.
I got that.
Well, now we
We
know
just
what
need to-
David's thinking about.
We just need to tell him who he needs to get.
Right, so, it's a very interesting setup up there because most of the places are buildings or businesses. So it would kind of be up to you for parking. You know, most of you guys do this for parking situations and traffic situations. The, how it would affect the other people living in the area.
My computer quit.
Dennis Jinger, and then you gotta go clear down to college almost,
Yeah.
there's two houses.
Two houses, almost a college. And really,
Then you got the old, what is it, the old Cook property right on the corner?
you have to be down
So do you
here
have
toward
to-
college.
Do you have to get approval from a business?
Well, it's just anybody that if you think it would affect. Now, I can't say that I'm not sure that since I've been coming to council meetings, you guys have had one of these, so.
I remember we did this one time on my first term, and I. remember
Yes,
there was
you
like-
did, and it was for Kelly Hilt and her gymnastics studio.
Oh, was I in on that?
Yes,
Man,
but
my memory.
that was strictly in residential,
This is,
right?
well, yeah,
I
this,
get what you're saying, but what I'm asking is, do we need to contact the businesses?
that would be a question.
I believe so. I mean,
Okay.
the procedure is that you have to contact the adjacent landowners. It's
Okay.
irrelevant who the type of owner that the entity is.
And it's up to them to determine if the people across the street are gonna be affected by parking, right? That's their determination, how they wanna do it. Am I understanding that right? If they just want,
Gotta go
Am
in
I-
here.
down the right track on that? I mean,
I think that I'm trying to remember. My computer literally just died.
do you want me to carry on with my other stuff?
Yes,
I mean,
please.
that'd be okay?
That would be great. Thank
I
you.
don't have that much. Let's see, had somebody message me tonight before the meeting that, they'd be willing to, paint the flag in the band shell, if the city would provide the supplies to do that. She'd be able to do it over the weekend, if that's something you
Is
guys.
that someone related to me?
No, it is not.
Because we had a conversation about that very same thing.
Has this individual done it before?
I have no idea. I don't know.
So, that's fine, but we had that one of the things I can talk about tonight is Becca and Carrie, we're gonna repaint that if it was okay with the council.
Well, so now you have two offers to do it. So there you have it on that. I mean, that's up to you guys who you want to do it, if you want it to be a joint effort. I think the expectation would be that the city would provide the paint and the brushes.
Absolutely.
So, you guys can decide that easily.
It's odd that, because that's
That's-
literally
that's
one of the
crazy.
things I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, so,
And who do you have?
My daughter-in-law, who's an art teacher, and then Carrie, who's an artist, so.
Can you tell me who it is?
Lucinda messaged me.
Okay.
Maybe maybe we could just call her and they can all three team up on it.
That's exactly kind of what I'm wondering, if they wanna coordinate it. I think just we need to get the okay that the city will provide the paint, and we can, whether they work that out with Dan or, cause I mean, obviously they're not gonna be able to just walk into wherever and charge stuff, so we would have to figure out those logistics, but I can't imagine that'd be that hard. So, or for the
Everybody good
city
with that?
hall or whatever.
Good with that? Painting the flag at the park?
It needs it.
It needs it.
Yeah. Well, I think they want to get it done for alumni.
So, I mean, if, here's the thing, I can reach back out to Lucinda if you wanna reach out to Becca.
Yeah.
And just say that it just happened that two people are interested, maybe y'all could
Yeah.
work together, is that, I'll let you do that if that works, okay?
Okay.
So, before the last meeting, we had, some CDs, our two CDs at Western State Bank, were coming up for maturity. They did, they are set up to automatically renew if we would like, well, then we weren't able to have the meeting, so I called and talked to Amanda, we just allowed them to roll over both of those CDs, so, now their maturity date, they both will mature, on November 26th of this year, so, I'm just letting you guys know that. Normally, you know, we talk about that in a council meeting, but we wouldn't have had enough days, so that's what happened there. I'll be taking some vacation time, so I will not be at the next meeting. Is there anything else, Jamie, that we talked about?
Not for you.
So, other than us getting this lined out, what you guys wanna do, as far as, cause really what's gonna happen is, I went ahead and printed this, Jamie's not done one of these, so it's a training thing, so.
I had no idea.
No, it's just, this is the first time we've done it, so, really Jamie and I will work on it together this week to get, I'll show her the stuff that we need to print so they can come pick it up, so once you guys decide who you want us to tell them to get the signature from, then I think, unless I think of something before Lauren has the answer.
I think you got Flippin and Midwest Energy on both sides.
Yeah, and it's not just parking, it says that, consent of the owners of 80% of the area of the land deemed by the council to be immediately affected by the proposed use. And I don't know, I guess, where on the lot they're exactly planning on putting it, but I would think that the properties across the alley may be affected if someone pulls their truck down the alley to, if customers.
You know, they're gonna set it back off the street, you know.
I don't know exactly how far back off the street.
Because I mean, I would think that depending on where it's gonna be, I don't know if the alley would be affected. If people are gonna be driving, if it's gonna be closer to the back of the lot, if people would be driving down the alley, in which case I think the people across the alley would be included in that area of immediate effect.
Across the street and on the same side and across the alley, I would agree with that. Probably should.
And so you'll have to ignore my scribbles on that one, then, on the one that says block
I guess if I may, it's of course up to the discretion of the council.
John isn't gonna complain.
I was gonna say, 2 of the lots are his dad's.
Well, I don't think John Gutzville on the other side of the alley gonna care.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
gonna care either, but he's still, I mean, he might want him to get a signature on it because it's,
You're not
it
gonna
counts
be able
towards
to
the
get his
80%.
signature. You're not gonna be able to get Ted McCoy.
Well, Ted, this is old news.
This would be my recommendation of who needs 80% of these.
So John
Yeah,
got
yeah, leave John on it, for
It
sure.
was
Oh, I
purchased as
forgot
tax
about
sale.
that.
And I don't know that the, owner is
This one?
correct.
John owns this?
Well, it went through the tax sale, so as soon as, whatever
Okay.
the procedure is, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, if it's the,
Yep. And then I'm not so sure, we're gonna have to check on the owner of 540 East Second. That's why I was saying, when I printed this, I don't think it's been updated, so.
right, I mean, I guess regardless of,
So basically, 540 East Second would be your recommendation here, right there.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I would have him get, if John Guthmiller owns this and this, I would have him get his signature because that will count towards the 80%.
Absolutely,
And, I mean, that would help him
Well, that would-
build,
absolutely.
but this,
Oh, I see what you're
this
saying,
is my
that's
rec-
smart,
Yeah.
that's smart.
This is,
Yeah.
yeah, but this is my recommendation for the properties.
Yep.
I'm coming.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
This is the proposed property. So I think the ones immediately adjacent to it on the same side of the street, plus, I don't know what this is. I think that's the weird,
Yeah.
You got one
Thing.
over here too.
yeah.
So we down to
But-
one property left in town?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's great.
I know the way they did me, they just
Both of them?
stood out there in the street, those, the ones in the circle right
Yeah.
around me, and that,
Is council good with this?
I am, yeah, I
So
think it's
Jamie
good.
can have that,
Okay.
and then we'll work on that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you had, Lauren? Oh, wait a
She's
minute.
helping me.
We're-
Do you have another report? No, I'm just kidding. I think that's all I have. Unless I'm forgetting something, I guess if I will, I'll tell you in a month.
Can I have a motion to approve and accept the treasurer's report by Randy, second by Justin, all in favor?
I was like, am I supposed to have something else?
Getting late, and somebody's been signing checks.
And of course, my computer died 30 seconds before I had to look something up.
Of course. Clerk report.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot. You've kind of already gone through some of the financials there. Got the paid invoices and the revenue and expense that we were just looking at. PBC meeting tomorrow, just as a reminder. We'll need to sign tonight the budget letter. And then we need to think about a date for budget workshop coming up. We haven't really started, but it's
Oh,
something
we-
that we need to think about.
Look at July normally? Or August? I can't
I
remember.
thought you.
I think we'd be wise to maybe consider,
Oh, you're talking about the workshop, I'm sorry.
Yeah, in case you have to have
I was like, I thought you did
two.
the workshop in late June, and then if you needed another one in early July.
right, and so just be mindful that, so, and I do not have to be here for it, but I've told Jamie that I'd be here to help as much as I can. I will miss the second council meeting, but obviously you don't do a workshop during a council meeting, so you would pick another date.
Let's go to the meeting after that.
Well,
Will you
then
be-
we're into July.
Yeah,
I think you'd wanna do a workshop maybe the week of the 22nd. I'll be back the 23rd, so I could do anything after, like 24th or after, into that next month, and then that way, if we do need to schedule another one, we'd still have plenty of time, I feel like.
And you're back when, I'm sorry?
Well, I'm back the 23rd, but I'm not doing it, but I'm not gonna come in on the 23rd. Sorry, dude, not,
Schedule something for that week of the 22nd.
yeah.
So we'd be looking Wednesday's 24th, Thursday 25. Can't be a Friday
If
or
we can't
Saturday.
do, if we don't have to, I can't do that Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be my last fire meeting here.
Question, how long does workshop go?
Maybe a couple hours.
Hour and a half, 2
usually.
hours, yeah.
I mean, we try not to like get crazy, and if we can get everything prepared and stuff, it should go fairly smooth, so I don't anticipate a second budget workshop, I really don't.
Is that too soon for you, both of you,
When?
the 25th?
I don't think so.
I don't think
That's
so.
Friday?
That's
a
a
Thursday.
Justin, what's your schedule look like?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I schedule on my, no, I'm just kidding. I can make it on Thursday.
And you could always do it the next Monday after the council meeting, like the 29th too.
Thursday would work, as well as any.
And I mean, you know, your best bet is to, we want, I mean, as many of you here, of course, so,
Yeah, if we need to figure out a date and then have me put out the call, that's,
Okay, is everybody going to be here on the June 29th meeting?
that's not a meeting.
That is not a meeting.
You know what you guys can do, here would be my suggestion, you can take this or you can leave it, especially since Amanda's not here tonight, I would just say, why don't you guys, everybody look at their calendar, you can discuss it at the 22nd meeting, because I think it's pretty clear, a lot of us may be pretty flexible after that, and you guys, that way, because everybody should be here at the next meeting from the way it sounds, Amanda will be back, so they could decide, and like I said, I can't do it the 23rd, Dan's out the 24th, but then everybody would have a couple weeks here to look at their calendar, and then,
Yeah, we'll need her.
and if
here.
you have something on your calendar that's coming up, if you wanna just send me an email, I'll just, keep track and mark off the days where where it's not feasible.
As long as it's in the evening, I don't care.
Oh, I was gonna have it at 9:00 in the morning.
I'll
That'll
touch,
work too.
I was gonna make
Except
Bud
on-
bring donuts.
Except on Mondays and
that's a good idea, Jen,
Thursdays.
we can finalize it.
I think so, that way it'll give everybody here a chance to look at their calendar, and surely between now and then, everybody, and then we can give Amanda a heads up too, that we
Yeah.
discuss this and just say, hey, gonna talk about it the 22nd, try to figure out a date. for
But
it.
I was advised that it's important to get it in everybody's mind as soon as possible after closing the audit, so.
Okay.
And we've got a good start, Jamie entered.
I had to redo that whole last one, but we're not gonna talk about that right now.
Nope, she got familiar with all the reports, the spreadsheets. We are getting a little help, but she's done a departmental budget before, so
A couple
this is
times.
just a bigger version of what she's done, so
Yeah, it's really not a whole lot different, it's just more departments. So I don't think it'll be a huge problem.
no, so I think if you guys discuss it on the 22nd, and then,
Yeah.
I mean, I've already told you when I can't do it, and basically the 23rd and the 24th are out. So, anyways, that's a good conversation for the next meeting.
That's all I have,
Any
think.
questions?
I think. Did I have?
don't think there's anything else.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but if I am, it's late.
Have a motion to approve the clerk report.
Somebody.
Hey, Larry. Can I ask a quick question, cause I forgot something in my report?
Okay,
I don't know who said it.
does it have to do with the clerk?
No.
So I got a motion from Justin, second from David to approve the clerk report.
Okay.
Now?
Go.
So, somebody's wanting to put a fence in over at Craig Lauer's old house. That lady is. She's wanting to move it way to the front. I told them I'd ask you guys, but there's supposed to be a 25-foot setback, so. She's wanting to do chain link fence. So I don't think the blind corner rule would be a problem, but I don't know if we want to get started putting chain link fence out.
It depends on if you got one existing, the grandfathered in, but if you don't have one existing, it's not. Just have to wait
Kind
more.
of, yeah. and then on the side, she wants to go out to her sidewalk, which I think is gonna put her out in the right of way, but.
Well, I thought we had something that said that if you're putting a fence in front of the house, it had to be even with the house.
Basically, that's what I'm saying,
25
if you
feet, yeah.
25 foot
Right.
setback, yeah.
I don't know if it's even with the house. It's a 25-foot setback.
Okay.
So if the house is more than 25 feet back, I think you can put it up to 25. I mean, you can put it in front of the house.
Right.
It just has to be 25 feet back.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking down the street, I think most of these setbacks are all at the front porch. I mean, lined up pretty well.
I think we gotta stick with that. Okay.
But then the blind, I'll just worry about the blind corner rule if she ever does the permit, but we can talk about that, but I don't think she'll be doing them, I mean, it's not gonna be a blind corner by putting the chain link fence up,
Shouldn't be.
so we can talk about that later, but I needed to bring that up.
So help me out here. Do we have to do anything with the bills?
The, warrant register.
You just need me to sign them?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we need a motion?
Do we,
Are you gonna
to,
do that?
Two council comments.
Bud, any council comments? David?
Yes. I need to know how our low-income housing is set up. Do we own the low-income housing? Cause it's on our website, and so how is that set up? Because,
Isn't it HUD? Isn't it HUD? HUD, Housing and Urban Development.
is that what it is?
They usually are.
I'm pretty sure.
Cause when I talked to Amanda, she was under the impression that the city owns the apartments, but they manage it themselves. So I just need to know what accountability we have here, because I am a not very happy grandpa, because my kids, my son doesn't have time to mess with it because he's working 80 to 90 hours a week up at the village, putting in a lot of overtime. And so my daughter-in-law calls me and says, we can't get things to drain. The shower's backing up every time I do laundry, the shower backs up, the sink backs up. And I said, well, it sounds like there's a sewage pipe. I said, so about 2 weeks ago, I went over there, I plunged everything, poured some some other stuff, got it working. This happened again this last week, and they started smelling sewer smelling in the apartment. They called Rod Thursday all day. I called Rod Friday all day. No answer, no call back, no nothing. Kept calling over the weekend. Finally, they got a hold of Jake today and said, well, we just don't do anything on the weekends. That's fine, but a callback would be, if it was just two adults, I wouldn't be upset. If it was just my son and my daughter-in-law, but I got a 1.5-year-old grandson living there. And so, I just need to know, and I can't even find out who's on the board.
Well, we have that,
Yeah, it's,
appoint them.
I
Yeah.
I can get you the information tomorrow, and then I do believe, because it's a housing authority, it should be under,
I'm just thinking,
It should
if we
be under
own those
HUD.
buildings, should we not have an oversight of how things are ran?
not with HUD.
Then how do we own the buildings?
so,
I can't say as we do.
I thought the county owned the buildings.
The what?
I thought the county actually had that, run that.
nothing to do with the city at all.
Nothing.
But I can explain to you how to handle that
Okay.
concern
I'll
from
give you a
prior
call.
experience.
Okay, I'll give you a call. It's just been extremely frustrating.
Well, we can hopefully find out the answers for you too. Anything else, David?
No, that's it, I'm sorry.
Randy, Dustin? The only thing I've got is Alumni Weekend is the 19th and 20th, and there's gonna be a ton of activities going on. And then there's a band coming in Saturday night called Secret Agent Band. It'll be a busy weekend.
God, now you got that song in my head.
I've got what?
I got the song in my head.
Secret agent
song.
man.
See?
Secret agent band.
Well, it still
I know
sounds
what
the
you're saying.
same.
It's
But
kind of like
it
Band on the
sounds
Run,
the
though.
same. Okay, I guess I don't have the checklist deal. We just need to approve him.
It's like motion to.
What, I don't have the ordinance number.
It should be.
11. I'm here. Back there,
Help him out, Justin.
Got it?
we got it. We got your back, Dan.
Well,
You're fine.
okay. Oh, right here.
Is that all of them? I need to, has everybody had a chance to review the bills? I need a motion to approve the bills on ordinance 1111.
So moved.
Moved by Justin,
Second.
second by Randy, all in favor? Pass. Now I guess it's whoever can stand up first.
Nope.
You have an
Got
executive.
executive session.
3,
David, do you still need
We'll
me?
be done.
elect,
David.
or,
Do you still need me?
Yeah, comes back, yeah.
non-elected
Thank you.
personnel for,
Executive session for non-elected personnel, job duty performance?
It's
Personnel issues?
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's.
Non-elected
Mm.
personnel.
need a motion for going to executive session for 3 minutes coming out at status update on, personnel issues with everybody in the room, or who do you need?
Everybody's fine. I mean, I don't need you.
Thank you, Laura.
It's not a big deal.
So moved.
Coming out at 9:41. With everybody in the room.
Randy.
Moved by Randy, second by Justin. We're out of executive session, no decisions were made. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Moved. Stand up. Second.
David.
Moved by Justin, second by Randy, all in favor?
No,